Hello, this is Blue Diamond Coasters, and I'm here at Busch Gardens Williamsburg in beautiful Williamsburg, Virginia, for mainly two reasons. The first of which is the ACE Spring Conference. This is the first big national event for the American coaster enthusiasts, and for 2025, it's at both Busch Gardens Williamsburg and Kings Dominion, both parks in Virginia celebrating 50th anniversaries this year. This is just going to be the first half of the event. We're spending a day and a half here and a day and a half at Kings Dominion. So this video will be the Busch Gardens half of this kind of duology. But there's another reason I'm here today, because today is May 16th, 2025. In other words, the 50th birthday for Busch Gardens Williamsburg. The park opened 50 years ago today, and to celebrate, they're doing a bunch of different stuff throughout the year, different events, of course, bringing back Big Bad Wolf in the form of a B&M family coaster. But they're doing a lot of special things today, including a cover band for the 1970s, a bunch of exclusive merchandise, a fireworks show, along with a presentation from the park's president kind of going over the history of the park. There's a lot of great things to look forward to this weekend, so let's head inside and get this event started. All right, the park is open up for the day, and the past few times I've been going that way to like head straight to Pantheon, but since today is kind of a day about history, I'm gonna actually start off with Loch Ness Monster. Oh, also, in case there was too much going on already, they're also doing their Food and Wine Festival, and as a part of the ACE event, they actually gave us a card with 10 swipes for the Food and Wine Festival, so 10 entrees, drinks, sides, whatever, so I'll definitely be using that throughout the weekend. Alright, got one ride in on Loch Ness Monster, and sorry, I'm out of breath because I went down to get footage by the loops. Still like a really great ride, and I feel like it keeps on getting just better and better the more I ride it, especially with those new enhancements.
Now prepare to enjoy the power and speed of the mythical Griffin. Yes.
Just got a back row ride on Griffin. There was like no wait for it. There's a bit of a wait now, but so far crowds are light when you go on kind of the counterclockwise way around the park. I think next up is going to be Alpengeist, but I think I'm going to take the fun way across by taking the Skyway.
Blue Diamond Coasters! Woo!
right, got a front row ride on Alpengeist. Man, that thing is flying. Yeah, it's hauling through, at least for the first half. The second half kills it, but yeah, it's running really great. Although, I just sent an empty train, and when I was in the station, we actually went down for a bit because of a protein spill, which I think is going to happen a lot this weekend just because of the heat. So I'm over here in the back of Oktoberfest because among all the other things going on today, it's actually the media event for Big Bad Wolf, The Wolf's Revenge. I wasn't able to get in this time, so just kind of have to watch from afar. But thankfully tomorrow for ERT in the morning, we'll be doing it on Big Bad Wolf, so I'll be riding it this weekend, just not right now. All right, got a front car ride on Pantheon. Still absolutely incredible. I'm not enjoying alone anymore.
Austin's here. I'm back once again.
Yeah, you were busy this morning. You were actually at the media stuff for Big Bad Wolf, but we'll have to save spoilers for now because we're going to be riding it tomorrow morning. But what do you think of Pantheon?
Pantheon, excellent. Since my last visit to Busch Gardens, I did ride Velocity for the first time, so that's definitely better, but this is still a top 15. It's an awesome ride.
Yeah, it's great. It's fantastic.
Say that again?
So like I mentioned earlier, right now they're doing the Food and Wine Festival, and one of the new booths this year is a China booth here in Italy. Yeah, they just kind of throw the countries wherever. But yeah, they actually have some pork bows over here, so I'm gonna get me some of them. So we found this quiet little area over here, kind of near Roman Rapids, but getting a great view of Apollo's Chariot, and I decided to get a barbecue pork bow. All right, this is Food and Wine Festival item number 1, a pork bow from China. Oh, that's actually really good. All right, so we got off Apollo in the back row. It's not the best B&M Hyper, but it's still a great ride. But after that ride, I had to go take care of something, and you went and did Pantheon. How was your ride on Pantheon?
So, we dispatched from the station, and we make it about halfway through the first launch, and it completely stops, and we roll back, and they told us that we were getting an evac.
Lucky you.
That was also my first evac off a coaster.
Well, congrats. I mean, I also have been evac'd off a ride at a national ACE event. When I was at CoasterCon in 2023, I got evac'd off of Lightning Rod and Tennessee Tornado. But I wish I was there to see it. Yep. But I don't know, maybe that'll happen like during ERT. So yeah, you can still see the train sitting on the first launch track. As Griffin and Locke's Monster are dueling, we're at our second Food and Wine station. This one's not really country, it's just Virginia, but it has probably my most anticipated item, crab cake sliders. Those crab cakes were really, really good. I ended up having 2 of them, they were so good. But it's time to get back to some rides. Starting off, we're back here at Loch Ness Monster. getting on Griffin, actually with a single rider line, which I don't know if they usually always do that. Maybe it's just because it's a bit crowded. This area is kind of really busy because there's like a bunch of band groups going on in the, or like their competitions are happening in the theater over here. So whenever they let out, it feels like Main Street USA whenever Happily Ever After ends. Anyway, we're actually heading to the front of the park to catch the 50th birthday presentation from the park president.
I guess just about everybody at one time or another dreams of a trip to Europe, but just how many of us can afford it? I'd like to show you what you can do on this side of the Atlantic for less than $7. This is the old country, now being built by Busch Gardens in Williamsburg, Virginia, near Washington, D.C. And this book will help you plan a visit this spring when the old country opens. For your free copy, write Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, Virginia, and start planning to join us in the old country on this side of the Atlantic.
I love stuff like that. The nostalgia. Great way to start off the evening. You know, think about it sold as your opportunity to come to Europe on this side of the Atlantic. I thought was really clever, but and $7. Right. We'll send that request in on your behalf. Park map as we opened back in 1975. And thanks to my good friend Pete Dunkley, who's here, I actually have a 24 by 36 copy of this map in my office, which is just an amazing reminder of all the things that we've done. What you notice probably the most is there's some countries from today that aren't there. So Oktoberfest did not exist when the park opened. Italy did not, Festa Italia, the whole Pompeii area, everything ended at Rheinfeld. So the Willkommen House was the original Fest House in 1975. And then in 1976, we'll talk about, is when Oktoberfest actually came along. Construction, great fitting picture. The building that we're in right now, the original Globe Theatre, based on a theater outside of London that originally opened in 1599. Ours, twice the size of the original. For the history buffs, the original was torn down in 1644. But you know, this building, I think one of the best theaters really you're going to find anywhere in any theme park in the world. And we continue to there's no other place we should have it than the Globe Theater. Just so much history there. So our Rhine River, pre-Loch Ness. So you can see the railroad trestle in the background, but this was pre-Loch Ness, and when the bridge was being built, the Rhine River is man-made. We did have some photos, not as good as we would have liked, but before the Rhine River had any water, but that is a man-made body of water there. And then some great shots here of what was known, or is still known. It's interesting in history, you see the original names like Banbury Cross. We also see terms like England used even back then as well, kind of interchangeably. But this was, you can see the Emporium and then the candy shop as well. It looks very, similar in architecture to today. And then construction of the Willkommen House, and you can still see the gazebo. Also here today, a lot of suits. I worked, as many of my friends here, worked for the company when there were a lot of suits happening. A little more casual now, but definitely some great years there. So 1975 to 1985, highlight a few of the great kind of beginnings of the park. So the Busch Gardens Railway, Aeronaut Skyride, the Scoot Log Flume, Kinder Carousel, the Catapult, and Rhine River Cruise are all opening day attractions that are still operating today. You can see Le Mans there, easily one of the most popular attractions we've ever had. I still get asked about that ride, or not asked, but people mention it. over 25 million races were run on Le Mans Raceway. 49 recreated antique cars that were modeled after a 1913 Stutz Bearcat and molded fiberglass bodies that were built on steel frames out in California. Traveled over nearly 10 million miles in the 31 years before the raceway was closed in 2006. This is a photo from opening day of the Fest House in 1976. You can see the paintings, which we just updated. A quick look here. The Big Bad Wolf. Loch Ness Monster, sorry. Loch Ness Monster under construction. Skipped ahead. And there's the Big Bad Wolf, pre-opening. That iconic turn is still there. To some degree, different iteration, but always a fan favorite. So 1985 to 1995. 1986, the Enchanted Laboratory of Nostromo, the Magnificent, debuted in what is now known as Castle O'Sullivan. That's another one that I seem to hear quite a bit and was a big hit with the guests. 1987, we expanded with the addition of Festa Italia. So rides such as Gladiator's Gauntlet, Turkish Delight, and Sea Dragon were among the popular attractions. So Sea Dragon and Gladiator's Gauntlet, obviously not here anymore, replaced with trade winds and other rides, but Festa, amazing addition to the park, and then in 1988, Roman Rapids. Questor. It's almost like I intentionally picked out the fan favorites just to get, make myself feel a little better up here. So Questor opened in 1990. We all followed Aldwin on his quest for the Crystal of Zed. How many in here are part of that attraction? Probably quite a bit, right? Yeah. That's great. And Questor was later renamed King Arthur's Challenge, Corkscrew Hill, Europe in the Air. Which one was that for? All right, Corkscrew Hill and Questor. We'll put it on the list. And then Drachenfire, 1992. So another celebrity sighting. Anybody? Yes. Dana Carvey, dedication ceremony. Also did not run when he was there. That's a true story. And he offered to do stand-up to fill in time. And then that ride would close in 1998 and be dismantled a few years later. 1994, Land of the Dragons opened. Great addition. And then this stretch was also marked by great shows. If you remember the Canadian Palladium, which is where the Catapult resides right now. So great shows like Good Time Country, Good Time Jamboree, Distressed in the West, and James River Jamboree, but a great live music. And then 95 to 2005, to me, when I look back at the history, this is where the park really kind of exploded. Got into our B&M coasters. So busy few years. Escape from Pompeii in 95. Wild Izzy, which was the Wild Mouse, which was eventually shipped to Tampa. Alpengeist 1997, and Apollo's Chariot. American Jukebox debuted 1998, and we brought that back in 2023. Just a phenomenal show, just such great talent, and look forward to bringing that back, debuting again next month. So this is Alpengeist, just as it was going in. Hard to picture that before Alpengeist was there, but just obviously a major expansion for the park. Still a great ride today. And then the construction of Ireland. So Ireland came after the Threadneedle Fair era and other concepts there, but major expansion back in 2001. but yeah, just a huge time for growth in this stretch. And then a little bit more in, you would say, somewhat modern time. 2005, Curse of Dark Castle. And then we added 3 thrill rides during this time. So Griffin, 2007. Mock Tower in 2011. Nothing? Okay. And then Verbolten in 2012. I don't have any, I mean, I do know what's going on with it, obviously, but I don't have a definitive date, but don't hold me to this. Hopefully in the next, we'll say 30 days, we're back with Revolt. Hope I don't regret saying that. But we're on our way there. 2009, launched Christmas Town. It's really hard. It's hard to think of the park, before Christmas Town, and then it also opened Sesame Street Forest of Fun in 2009 as well. There's Griffin going in. Bittersweet, I know, for some folks because it was on the Le Mans site, but Griffin, no doubt, a fantastic addition. And then another thing that I do be remiss to say, during this time, Celtic Fyre premiered on the Ebbystone stage. In 2010, and I can say definitively now, it has been voted again the #1 theme park entertainment by USA Today. Yeah. There's the ribbon cutting ceremony for Sesame back in 2009. A great addition to the park. Now, kind of really modern times. Obviously, a lot of events. These were times where Beer Fest, Mardi Gras, really expansion of food and wine. In the last decade, we have added Tempesto, Invader, Finnegan's Flyer, Pantheon, Dark Coaster, relaunched Loch Ness, and now, of course, Big Bad Wolves, the Wolf's Revenge. So a little throwback photo here of Invader going in. Just a great ride. It was 46-inch height requirement, filled a little bit of that gap after the Big Bad Wolf had left. But now, awesome to see that the new Big Bad Wolf, 42 inches again, so it just expands it to a whole new audience. So we can officially say that for the 35th straight year, we've been named the world's most beautiful theme park. Just an amazing accomplishment. Again, thanks to the team, and it's something we take so much pride in, and thanks to the Historical Association, and just a tremendous honor for us. And then don't forget, end of night tonight, fireworks finale at 9 p.m. We have the beer, we got all the great stuff going on for 50th, we got a gift for you as you head out, but all I want to leave you with is a sincere thank you, for your loyalty, your dedication to the park. That's why we're here, that's why we do what we do, and we appreciate all the feedback, good or bad. That's how we learn, that's how we make things better and hear what you guys want to see, so always love to hear it. And if you see me out in the park, say hello, please, and just thank you for being here, and have a wonderful evening.
All right, that wraps up the little presentation there from the president. I was worried we weren't going to be able to fit in. They actually, for a while, closed off the theater because of capacity. But I guess enough people left and we were able to squeeze on in. And yeah, it was pretty fun just seeing the whole history of the park. And I was just getting a presentation from the park president. Anyway, while we were in there, it rained, so everything's a lot cooler. but I still want to ride some water rides. So we're gonna head on Escape from Pompeii. Alright, next up is going to be an Ace exclusive showing of Celtic Fyre. Sean, if you're watching this one's for you. I know if you follow East Coaster Fan or Sean, he's a good friend of mine. He absolutely loves Celtic Fyre. And, you know, I don't agree that it's the best theme park show ever, but you know what? I really enjoy it and I'm looking forward to seeing it again.
I love the dancing. Who likes dancing? If your toes start to tap within your wee little shoes, you can let your toes tap. If you know the lyrics of the song and you want to sing along, go ahead, sing along. However, if you feel so inclined to walk up on stage and dance on these here tables, don't. Because they're brand new mahogany tables. Can everybody go, ooh, mahogany?
Ooh, mahogany.
That is mahogany.
Alright, that was Celtic Fyre, and yeah, it's a really, really great show. Great dancing, great, you know, Irish dancing. Not my favorite theme park show of all time, though, but still really solid. Anyway, we got about 10 minutes till ERT starts, but a couple people in our group wanted to do Night Ride on Loch Ness Monster. So, I guess we're just gonna end it off where we started today, at least before ERT. Just got a night ride on Loch Ness Monster with the fireworks going off. That was really great. That was so cool, just riding it with the fireworks going off. Even like as we're going, it started as we're going to the lift hill too, so it was just like perfect timing. So now we're over here in Festa Italia for the start of the nighttime ERT. The main two headliners are Pantheon, which doesn't look like it's open yet, and Apollo's Chariot. Plus some of the flat rides, but we're gonna get the one other coaster out of the way. Since I haven't done it yet today, let's get Tempesto out of the way.
Now sit back with your back against the seat and your head against the headrest.
All ready? Yeah, goodbye.
Alright, did Tempesto kind of in the back car, and that was actually a really good ride on Tempesto. Got tons of great airtime and a lot of positives as well. After we did that, we also got a Road 2 ride on Apollo. I was able to get a ton of room, and man, Apollo is hauling tonight. I'm definitely, you know, I was mainly here for Pantheon, but I might have to get a few more rides on Apollo because that was running great right now. And now it's time for, in my opinion, the main event of the ERT. It's time to ride some Pantheon. Alright, did a ride on Pantheon at night. whoo, that is still absolutely incredible. It's in my top 10. It's my favorite coaster in Virginia. It's better than any coaster here or at Kings Dominion. I just absolutely love it. The line is pretty long for ERT. I mean, it is a national event, so you get a lot bigger crowds than your regional events. So we're gonna be heading back over to Apollo. Hopefully the line's a bit shorter over there. All right, just did a little bit of a marathon on Apollo. We managed to get 3 rides without even leaving the station, just because every time we got back, pretty much every row is empty except for like the front and back. So we just kept on row hopping throughout the train, and yeah, it's running really great tonight. All right, we got in just after they closed the chain. Here's a horse. Let's go ride Pantheon. All right, got, I think, what, 2 more rides on Pantheon. One of them was the last train of the night. All I gotta say is, so that wraps up our first day here at Busch Gardens as part of the ACE Spring Conference and also the 50th birthday for Busch Gardens. So it was great to actually be here on the 50th birthday celebration, just to see all the festivities, just to say, hey, I was here for the park's 50th birthday. But like I said, this is only the first day, so let's get started with the next day. And just like that, it's the next day. We're well rested and we're ready for some morning ERT. I was actually planning on doing the little snap transition back in front of where I left last night, in front of the kind of tree sign. But they actually let us go through the entrance near Apollo, the kind of like employee entrance near the France parking lot. So that was great. It saved us a lot of time walking back to Oktoberfest for our morning ERT. And I hear the bells, which means it's time to head back to the brand new Big Bad Wolf, the Wolf's Revenge. All right, just got off Big Bad Wolf, the Wolf's Revenge, and overall thoughts, It's a really solid ride. It's definitely, you know, something for families, but also just all ages. The presentation is great. I forgot there was onboard audio on this, and the onboard audio was really well done. I love the theming and the old buildings and stuff they added kind of along the layout. And it's just a really solid ride. You know, it's a very good fit for the park, just to have another intermediate family coaster, maybe for people that even think Dark Coaster is too intense. And I'm glad they brought back the Big Bad Wolf in some form. And also, they basically brought back Drachenfire by reusing the old station. And there is a couple Easter eggs for Drachenfire throughout the ride. And it's also just crazy. I've known about Drachenfire for so long as like this kind of infamous roller coaster at Busch Gardens. And it's crazy that I'm actually standing near the original station and near the original ride area. So it's great to have this area back here. I do hope they maybe add a few more things back here. Right now, it kind of feels like the Bat at Kings Island, where it's just kind of its own little area by itself back here. Oh, there's only 2 bells, so no free ice cream.
No, you silly livers! No!
Do you have what it takes to brave the storm? Let's find out.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Put the big step back behind the yellow line blue. Please now push forward a little bit.
Was able to get a front row ride on Dark Coaster, and gotta say it was actually pretty cold in there. Like, it definitely felt like I was in a winter storm. I don't know if they like just blast the AC in that building or not. Anyway, we have a little bit of time left before we're actually doing a tour of one of their Howl-O-Scream mazes. So we thought we might as well pop over, get a ride on Alpengeist. Alpengeist was fun as always, and you know, that ride is getting higher and higher in my ranking of B&M inverts every time I ride it. But anyway, we're now over here by the Fest House because we're doing a tour of one of their Howl-O-Scream mazes. I've been to Howl-O-Scream here a couple times actually as a kid when I first came to Busch Gardens, but then once a few years ago. We did the scare zones but not the mazes, so this will technically be my first time going through a Howl-O-Scream maze. You can see one of the wonders of the world, the backside of Dark Coaster.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh no, this one scared the crap out of me.
Oh God.
Yeah, have somebody check on the master change corner. So you take a space into a full set, yeah.
Oh, and the ceiling too, that's what I mean. Yeah, that's pretty smart.
Any given point, like I'm going to be a test file or a pair.
So So that was the haunt tour. Definitely like a really long maze. Be curious to see like how long that would take like during a regular haunt night. But yeah, decent maze. Unfortunately, Verbolin is still closed. Although the park president did say within 30 days, so hopefully this will be open by then. But we're over here because they just opened up all the booths for food and wine, and we decided to stop at Iceland's to get some this here Loch Ness lemonade, a frozen margarita. All right, this is the Loch Ness lemonade. Yeah. Wow, that's actually really good. I don't think I've ever really had like a frozen margarita before, so this is kind of a first for me, and I really enjoy it. Just got off Invader, and I gotta say, this thing is getting pretty rough. I mean, this and Mystic Timbers opened the same year, and Mystic Timbers is running far better than Invader is. So even like the little turn after the little drop off the lift hill, like really jackhammers you. So I don't know if they need to do some retrack work or have GCI come back and Titan track it, but it's still it's a fine ride.
So if you guys are just joining us, we do have two currently out. We have Anoki and Denali. Anoki is this blonde boy right down here, closer to us.
So that does it for my time here at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. Overall, this has been a great trip here. Spending just a lot of time in the park. This is probably the most I've spent at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. I had a great time. Pretty much got on every coaster, all the other rides I wanted to do. Got to experience a food and wine festival, the 50th anniversary, all of the stuff with the Ace Spring Con, and I got to experience the all-new Big Bad Wolf: The Wolf's Revenge, which is a really solid family coaster. So Austin, this is your is this your first time at a Spring Con?
Yeah, this was my first Spring Con.
So what do you think of just Spring Con at Busch Gardens, at least?
I thought it was amazing. Actually, this is my first Ace event at Busch Gardens too.
Same for me, actually.
It was unbelievable. I mean, with the Food and Wine Festival ticket that we got and the incredible ERT sessions that we had too.
Now this is only the first half of Spring Con. In a little bit, we'll be heading over to Kings Dominion for the rest of the event. There's going to be ERT, some more behind-the-scenes tours, and a bunch of other great stuff. So be sure to check out that video when it comes out. If you like this video, leave a like. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, including ones from Busch Gardens Williamsburg and the upcoming video from Kings Dominion, be sure to subscribe to Blue Diamond Coasters. You can also follow at Blue Diamond Coasters on Instagram and TikTok, if TikTok is still around. And you can follow this guy,
Coaster Krieger. I'm on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
Yeah. So until next time, this is Blue Diamond Coasters.
And this is Coaster Krieger.
Later.